Hi, this is Tina at Tina Stitches. I've decided to do a stitch with me, more like a bead with me. This is Nora Corbetts Prancer, and I am at the finishing line. I am not having any luck with technology today. I didn't stitch my floss tube, I filmed my floss tube, and it was so choppy. I did do some editing and pulled out some parts and added some captions because words were being cut off. So that is saving right now. And I thought I'll just sit here and watch some Netflix, but it won't load. Tried to watch something on my iPad and it won't load, so I decided I might as well do some beading, and since I have nothing to watch, I will try recording another video. Hopefully there is enough power, whatever, on my camera that it is not going to do the cutting out that it was doing. Anyways, this is what it'll look like when it's finished, and this is where it is now. I have beaded my beading needle, and I've threaded the beading needle, and I'm ready to get started. I was going to get everything ready, and I thought, well, you might want to actually see how I bead. I'm using 815 for my floss to bead the red because I think it matches the red nicely, and I don't use invisible thread only because I don't have it. But I think also the color of the floss brings out the color of the bead. So I will be using the red for the bead, for the 1071 bead. And I'll be using white floss for the $10001 bead. And yeah, so I know I don't have enough beads on here, so I'm gonna put more. This is just a sheet of lint roller, and I find I like it. I don't have a tacky bob or one of those needle minders with a tacky surface, but I do have one on the way, of each actually. But I find this works just as good, and actually this is super tacky. If you're going to do this, I suggest using the travel size lint roller sheets because they are less tacky. Get the cheapest ones you can. You don't want it to be really, really tacky. So I just had it sitting in this tray for just that purpose, to catch the wanderers. And I'm just going to put this here while I anchor my floss. And I am silly, and I didn't load up a tag. I was going to do that. But technology is not working for me well, cooperating. So, what should I talk about? I am going to load up a tag. Just a sec. Okay. I think this is recording again. I found a tag. I found the Tracy's word tag, which I find interesting. So I thought that I would start with that one. So the first part is say these words. Ant, root, wash, oil, theater, iron, salmon, caramel, fire, water, shore, data, rune, crayon, toilet, New Orleans, pecan, both, again, probably, spitting image, Alabama, lawyer, coupon, mayonnaise, syrup, pajamas, cot. I know the word caramel had been quite the discussion topic for a while, and I say caramel. I think a lot of people in this area say caramel. The one word that we had, we poke fun at one of our co-workers because she's from down Detroit area, and down there, I'm guessing the word, I'm going to spell it first, so it's D-E-C-A-L, and she says decal. Get a decal for your car. Now, my husband works in graphics designs, and he worked for a sign company, and they did a lot of graphic lettering for cars, and it's Decal up here. We call it a Decal. Now that I'm saying it, it sounds funny, but it's not decal, it's Decal. So there's a word for you guys to toss around. Also, you know, how about Caribbean? That's another one that my husband and I were talking about, that it is very commonly used both ways. And I think I don't have a way of saying it. Sorry, this is not going the way I want. Split a thread. Yeah, Caribbean is probably the way I would say it, just off the top of, conversation. It would come out Caribbean. I feel like there's a problem here. And that's the problem working with linen. So you get to see me frog beads, which is fun. Because this one behind it went 3 threads instead of just 2. So the next question, what is it called when you throw toilet paper on a house? That's called TP. TP in the house. What is the bug that when you touch it, it curls into a ball? we don't have those here, so I don't know what it's called. My husband jokingly said it's tuck and roll. And if you watched Disney about 10 years ago, maybe longer, you'd get the reference. That would be a, is it Bugs Life? I think it is Bugs Life reference. But I've heard people call it a, roly-poly. That's the only thing that I can think of, because we don't get them here. So I don't call it anything, just a bug. What is the bubbly carbonated drink called? Such as this. It's called a pop. And whenever I hear soda, I think of Sody Pop. And it just makes me think of Jimmy Stewart. I don't even know why. So, it's a pop. What do you call gym shoes? We call them runners. Gym shoes. This is being really busy. You see, I'm not having a good day. Wow. So either my red bead was over 3 threads, or my white stitching is off, in which case I will just have to fudge it. And I would rather get this pulled out of here because it's under white. Not my favorite situation. Anyways, okay. So, how do you address people? Depends on the situation. But if we're walking into a restaurant and joining a group of people, it's, hey there, what's up? If it's on the phone at work, it's good morning, good afternoon. And sometimes if it's near noon and you have a brain fart, it's good afternoon. Long pause. I had somebody do that to me the other day when I called their office, and we had a little laugh over it. It was not quite afternoon yet. It was 10:02. And when do you say afternoon? Good afternoon. And do you say that right at 12 o'clock, or do you wait till 1 o'clock? I generally at 12 o'clock, people start leaving for lunch. I say afternoon. Anyway, so what is the kind of spider that has an oval body and extremely long legs? Daddy long legs. Dandy long legs just sounds wrong. It's like he's supposed to put on a top hat and start dancing. It's daddy long legs. And what do you call your grandparents? Now, I called both sets Grandma and Grandpa. And for my mother's set, for both of them, it was, if I was referring to the one, I would say Grandma and their last name. And if I was referring to my dad's, I would say Grandma than his last name. I would just use their last name when I was talking about them to other people. But my kids now, they do call my parents and my husband's parents different things. So my mom is Kokum, my dad is Papa. My husband's parents are Grandma and Grandpa. And there was no real reason to do that. It just was what they wanted, so. And then my stepmom is Nana, so it's Nana and Papa. What do you call the wheeled contraption in which you carry your groceries at the supermarket? It's a shopping cart. And sometimes I carry my own basket in. It's bright pink, and I make my husband carry it. He actually doesn't mind. He thinks it's fun. People give him weird looks. What? What do you call it when the rain falls while the sun is shining? Well, ever since the Spinal Tap song, we've been calling it Rainy Day Sun. But when I was a kid, it was called a sun shower. And that's all the questions for that tag. And this video is 17 minutes long already. And I got 5 beads in. I don't like the way that one's laying. So, I don't know what else to talk about. I have not had anything interesting happen lately. No house fires. No sink destruction. Whatever you want to call that little mishap that happened. The weather has been warming up, so the ice that's on the roof is melting and dripping, making ice puddles outside, so we gotta be careful. If it's warm, it's a puddle. If it's cold, which it is most of the time, it is mostly below 0 Celsius, which is 34 whatever Fahrenheit, so it's below freezing every day, mostly. Yesterday it got up to 6 degrees, so it was quite a mess. Probably wondering why I'm aiming my beads like this. I could do them diagonal, and I could do them horizontal, but I wanted them to be vertical. I want them to follow the frame. And I thought that I would have had a lot more in 17 minutes, but apparently not. I'm trying to stay within frame. I know Stitching Mommy had put a video where she was doing the beading and showing where she was picking up and then drop it on the fabric. And that works. I did that for a long time too, but I just find I had these laying around and it worked. I don't have errant beads. I don't have to worry about anybody bumping into them. And I am using 2 strands with a beading needle, which has an extremely small hole. And I don't even know what brand it is because I bought it many, many, many years ago in a 25 pack, I believe it was, and it was not marked. It was sold in a store where she sold a lot of beading supplies for women who were making mucklucks and gloves and beading the leather. But I still have a few of them. There's about 8 more in there. And there's some in other containers like that with other beads. But I did buy some Mill Hill brand beading needles. And I put them in a project bag somewhere, and I don't know which one. And I come across it, and I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. That's why I put that there. It's like, a lot of the projects that I do have beads, so which one would it be in? And I've honestly never even opened up that package. And it could even be in the box where I have all of these couriers, all the beads and everything kitted into that one box in a bag. One of my first project bags. It's more like a project tote. I could probably fit 3 project bags. My currently standard size project bags. Into that. I see I missed a question there. What is the thing you'd change the TV channel with? That would be the remote control. Pass the remote. I know some people call it the clicker. I think my father-in-law called it the clicker. Give me that clicker. But yeah, we just call it the remote. And when I was little, I remember when we got our first VCR with a, quote, remote. It had like a 20-foot long cable. Had to plug it into the front of the VCR and unwind it and go sit down. Back in the day, right? Back in the day. We didn't have remotes. That's what the kids were for. Standing in front of the TV and turn that channel. I was one of the kids, by the way. I was quoting my dad. He loves to tell stories like that back in the day. when I was a kid, we walked uphill to school, both ways in the snow. Okay, I think I went over 3 threads somewhere there too. I'm going to have to budget. I think I did that down there too. Yeah, there was supposed to be 5. But you can't tell. Don't like it when they don't line up nicely. Part of the problem is I need glasses to see this far, but I don't need them to see this far. So it's at that in-between point where it's like awkward. Oh, there's 2. Well, I think that one thread is just so tiny it's hiding. Because I see 2 on the one side. I think it's just being crowded out. Anyways, I'm going to sign off now because I think this is another video that's going to be a little bit longer. I am probably going to upload this midweek, or maybe I'll save it for Friday off the grid, which I know I posted my starting picture, but I didn't post my end picture, and that's because after sitting on that desk chair for an hour, I needed to sit in my recliner, so I switched. I went on to the Dragonfly, and then I had forgotten to take a picture of it before, and then I ended up stitching the whole, finishing the Krynic on the row wing on this side, and I did some of the outlining. And if you want to see that, that's in floss tube number 15, which is trying to upload right now. So I am going to say goodbye and finish uploading that, and I'm going to set this one. I think I will set it to upload on Friday. Because that's just, let's just spread it out a little bit. I've seen a lot of people are pre-recording their videos, so you might see this finished on Instagram before you see the stitch with me. And I'm okay with that. So anyways, I'm going to say goodbye now and try to finish this beading. Bye.